police teams Tuesday raided at least 30 locations across Delhi, Noida and Ghaziabad, including homes of several journalists associated with the news portal NewsClick. According to sources in Delhi police, the raids, which saw deputation of over 100 personnel across the city, were conducted in connection to a fresh FIR which was registered by the Special Cell on 17th August under the sections of the stringent Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against the news portal. The portal and its people associated with it, sources said, allegedly received funds from China, which they then used to publish anti-national news to promote leftist ideology and enhance China's image. The sections that have been invoked under the UAPA include Section 16 that amounts to Terrorist Act, Section 17 that amounts to raising funds for Terrorist Act, conspiracy and offences by companies or trusts. This is not the first time that NewsClick has been raided. The organization has already been under the scanner of the Economic Offences Wing of Delhi Police and the Enforcement Directorate for allegedly receiving funds from China routed through the United States. The news portal has also faced an income tax raid in 2021. But what is this case against NewsClick? Why is it accused of being funded by China? I will try and break down the case for you in this video. Going by the claims of investigating agencies, the online news portal NewsClick allegedly received funds from China, which were routed through the US, amounting to rupees 76.84 crore within just 3 years. And this is an allegation that has been made by the Enforcement Directorates. Investigators of the Enforcement Directorate has been probing a money laundering case against the media company. Further, these funds were distributed to journalists in Delhi to promote leftist ideology and enhance China's image, an ED source had told ThePrint. The agency has claimed that NewsClick's China link was established by its association with Shanghai-based American businessman Neville Roy Singham, described in ED documents as a close confidant of editor-in-chief Prabir Purkayast and as a contact person of the Communist Party of China. ED investigators have alleged that Singham not only financed NewsClick but also exchanged incriminating emails about China with Purkayast as well as other journalists, activists and several Communist Party of India Marxist leaders. According to sources, emails among Singham, Purkayast, Vijay Prasad and CPIM leader Prakash Karath revolved around updates from China, coverage of CPIM in China, news of anti-China feeling in India, restrictions of investment and imports from China, the CPIM's victory in local body elections in Kerala, praise for the Chinese government, and tributes by the CPIM to Mao Zedong. All this, sources said, clearly establishes the China link with the portal. According to their investigation, Singham also contacted Purkayast regarding the dubbing and subtitling of two 2019 Chinese movies. One is Red Star Over China and The Secret of China, which were produced by the propaganda department of the CPC, Sichuan and Shanxi Party provincial committees. ED sources claim that Prabir Purkayast and his associates engaged in a series of activities as part of China's image building program, including organizing lectures, interviews, studies, and other events. One of these, the source said, was a lecture and interview organized by Action Aid India featuring Chinese professors on the theme of China and the world, ecological and civilizational challenges. In addition, said the source, Purkayast and other associates worked on the topic of China's investment in Africa, contrasting it with investments by Western governments. Their aim, alleged the source, was to enhance China's image. The source also said that Singham organized a closed-door meeting on the China-USA relationship through the Tricontinental Advisory Board platform. The meeting's agenda was circulated to Purkayast and others through emails. The ED has also claimed that there was also an exchange between Purkayast, Singham, Prasad and Karath of a Chinese map where Arunachal Pradesh was shown as part of China, which they said shows their intentions. Interestingly, according to ED, the documents that were recovered during raids and searches included documents like an NIA charge sheet on Hafiz Saeed, travel details of the directors of the company to China, Venezuela and Tunisia, and paintings relating to communist ideology, which they said established their intent. Apart from these China links, the ED has claimed that the security of the evidence has revealed questionable infusion of foreign inward remittance of rupees 9.59 crore through FDI and rupees 76.84 crore by the way of export of services. We spoke to Mr. Prabir last month in a written response to ThePrint. He said that NewsClick is an independent news organization and the allegations by ED are wholly fictitious. He added that NewsClick has no ties with the Chinese government or its related entities and the organization has always complied with relevant Indian laws. According to him, a motivated investigation is being carried out by various authorities in India which has been challenged by the NewsClick before appropriate court and authorities. When asked about the ED's allegation about CPIM leaders, Politburo member Brinta Garath had told ThePrint that she has no idea about ED's claims. In fact, she said the CPIM has issued a statement earlier on the issue, and in any case, the ED has no business to make such politically motivated charges. Back in 2021, Garath had told ThePrint that CPIM volunteers could follow their own professional choices in which the party has no role. She had further said that the party had no involvement with the NewsClick. The controversy surrounding NewsClick's alleged connection to China grabbed public attention following an investigative report by the New York Times last month on a global web Chinese propaganda financed by network run by Roy Singham. This report claimed that NewsClick, funded by Singham, had been incorporating Chinese government talking points into its coverage. However, the ED initiated its investigation into NewsClick well before this, based on an FIR that was filed by Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing, accusing the company of receiving FDI of rupees 9.59 crore from Worldwide Media Holdings LLC, USA, during the financial year 2018-2019. In February 2021, the ED also conducted raids on the offices of its directors as well as editor Purukayast in February 2021. At the time, senior advocate Kapil Sibal, representing him, had argued that NewsClick has been receiving funds from the US-based company during a period when there were no restrictions on FDI. Subsequently, the Delhi High Court had in 2021 directed ED not to take any coercive action against the portal and its chief in two separate orders. On 11th August this year, however, the ED sought vacation of the two orders, with its advocate submitting that this was a case of criminal conspiracy to bring in unaccounted money from abroad. On 12th August, the Delhi High Court requested responses from NewsClick and Purukayast regarding the ED's plea. While issuing the notices, the single judgments of the High Court observed, and I quote, "Prima facie, the opinion of this court, the above contentions raised by ED have merit and require deliberation." Purukayast said he was confident that the court would decide in favor of the organization. He said, and I quote, "We have the utmost faith in Indian courts and are confident that they will emerge victorious in those proceedings. In fact, a court in India has already dismissed a complaint under the Income Tax Act against NewsClick, finding no merit in the baseless and fictitious insinuations made therein," he said. During investigation, ED claimed that the organization had put out a legal facade of FDI investments. The ED source said that the agency's examination of documents revealed that in April 2018, an inflow of rupees 9.59 crore FDI took place through the mechanism of share subscription into PPK NewsClick Studio Private Limited, of which Prabir is a director and shareholder. The source added that value of the shares of PPK NewsClick Studio, which is a loss-making newly incorporated company with a nominal face value of rupees 10 per share, was artificially enhanced by fixing a premium of rupees 11,510 per share. And this manipulation was allegedly done to create an impression of authenticity for the FDI. The funds in this instance, claimed the source, originated from Worldwide Media Holdings LLC, USA, a Delaware limited liability company. And this entity was incorporated by an associate of Neville Roy Singham, who initially infused capital in it and then through it channeled the funds to NewsClick in India. A source said that as part of their scheme to get money to NewsClick, Worldwide Media Holding LLC was incorporated by Jason P. Fetcher, with 100% equity of People's Support Foundation, in which Jodi Evans, wife of Singham, is a director, in November 2017. This company then transferred a fund of rupees 9.59 crore to PPK NewsClick Studio Private Limited in April, and since then, the company has stopped any further business activity. During the investigation, the source of funds in worldwide media holdings could not initially be explained. However, it was later found that Roy Singham provided the funds to the US company, the source said. During the investigation, worldwide media holdings source of fund was eventually traced to China-based Singham. That is what the ED has been claiming. According to the source, in order to get the rupees 9.59 crore, Purkayas along with associates created a legal facade of FDI investment in PPK NewsClick Studio Private Limited. And earlier also, Singham was transferring funds to Purkayas from GSPAN LLC, which is owned by Singham, as a consultancy fee to promote leftist ideology. All this, ED said, is a part of a well-devised mechanism to justify the investment of alleged FDI through equity participation. The source further claimed that while Purkayas claimed during interrogation that he did not know anything about the US-based company, scrutiny of digital evidence revealed that he, along with Jason P. Fitcher and Singham, conspired to infuse opaque foreign funds in PPK NewsClick Studio Private Limited. Purkayas was allegedly in touch with Jason P. Fitcher and Singham since at least 2017. According to ED, there were also make-believe agreements that were being made for rupees 76.85 crore. NewsClick claimed to have received export remittances of rupees 76.84 crore for its services from companies based in the US from March 2018 to 2021. However, the ED maintains that no evidence supporting these exporting services to the referred entity were purportedly found or produced during the course of search or even interrogation. According to ED sources, NewsClick claimed that it received remittances from Justice and Education Fund Inc. USA, the Tricontinental Limited Inc. USA, GSPAN LLC USA, and Centro Popular de Midas Brazil in lieu of uploading news content on the People's Dispatch portal, which is owned and maintained by NewsClick until 2021. However, the source alleged that NewsClick only had a make-believe agreement with these companies. This means that although it was shown on records that payments were made for a specific service by these companies to NewsClick, it could not be proved. The source pointed out that the Justice and Education Fund Inc. USA is a charitable organization and is non-for-profit making business. Therefore, it is possible that the donation sent by the foundation was recharacterized as service charge in order to escape the provisions of the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. The source added that the funds that were routed through this organization had actually belonged to Singham. According to a source, the opaque source of FDI of rupees 9.59 crore was in unexplained export remittance of rupees 79.48 crore has been traced back to a person located in China, which in this case is Singham, as I have already explained. A source said that Singham is located in China and is engaged in promoting the cause and activities of Communist Party of China. He also explained that a careful scrutiny of the service agreement between NewsClick and Justice and Education Fund proved the falsehood that the payment was for services. According to the source, the nature and content of the services were not defined in that agreement, and all the risks associated with the content vest with NewsClick. The sources also said that the agreement for uploading content on the website was not owned by it. The source further added that Amit Chakraborty, who is a shareholder of NewsClick, said in his statement under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act that Singham is the ultimate owner of funds received from the Justice and Education Fund USA and JSPN LLC USA. Let's now come to the allegation of anti-national news, which NewsClick is constantly being accused of by several investigation agencies, including now by the Delhi police. ED has claimed that their investigation revealed that People's Dispatch portal, which I just spoke about, was owned by NewsClick only until the agency conducted searches and investigation against NewsClick in 2021. Subsequently, the rights to the portal were allegedly transferred to this company called Justice and Education Fund in USA that I spoke about in my previous segment. NewsClick itself, the source claimed, was created to upload anti-national news at the behest of Singham. According to the source, Singham made all the investment in NewsClick by way of FDI and transferring of export proceeds, and for a reason. The scrutiny of the digital data has revealed that electronic communication between Purkayastha and Singham has taken place on various issues of interest to China. Since Singham, the investor, is influencing the content of the news, it is a case of paid news, the sources said. The remittances, said the source, came from chartered accountant companies based in the US that have the same address as each other. The ED's investigation have also exposed an alleged web of significant financial transactions from the foreign remittances received by NewsClick, ranging from a hefty fee paid to an electrician to payment for journalists and activists. The ED source said that an amount of rupees 1.55 crore was paid from the remittances to an electrician and acquaintance of Purkayastha called Sri Joseph Raj for petty maintenance work. However, no documentation for corresponding work was either found or produced during the search. Further, an amount of rupees 1.65 crore was also diverted from NewsClick bank account to Purkayastha, which was then used in the purchase and renovation of a flat in New Delhi, Saket, sources allege. This flat had a consideration price of rupees 1.80 crore according to the sale deed, ED has said. According to the source, investigation revealed that an additional payment of rupees 2 crore in cash was made for the purchase of the said flat. The ED has provisionally attached the property to the tune of rupees 4.52 crore along with Prabir Purkayastha's fixed deposits to the tune of rupees 41 lakh, totaling to rupees 4.93 crore. The ED also alleged that a payment of rupees 97.32 lakh was made by Bapaditya Sinha, a shareholder of NewsClick and a member of the IT cell of the CPIM, who reportedly manages the Twitter handles of several of party leaders. Funds were also allegedly paid to the activist Gautam Navlakha, who's also one of the accused in the 2018 Bhima Koregaon case. A source said, and I quote, NewsClick has paid rupees 17.08 lakh to Gautam Navlakha as salary. A part of the funds introduced in NewsClick was also distributed among other journalists and activists. The ED has also alleged that Purkayastha and Navlakha incorporated a company named Sagrik Process Analyst Private Limited with the help of investment received from a company called Viking Systems International. The ED source said that the reason why this company was incorporated could not be made clear during questioning. According to ED, as on 31st March 2020, Prabir and Amit Chakrabarti were the directors in the said company. Purkayastha held 76% shareholding in the company, Gautam Navlakha held 9%, and Viking System International had 7%. Viking System International, the ED source added, delivers naval architecture and marine engineering solutions primarily for the offshore oil and gas industries, as well as military and naval vessel sectors. This, he remarked, had no correlation with the area of business activities of NewsClick, which is a media company, and thus it becomes a problematic proposition. This, the source remarked, had no correlation with the area of business activities of NewsClick, which is a media company, and that is why it has become a problem and is questionable. With a fresh case now naming NewsClick, accusing them under sections of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and raids at the residence of its contributors, including journalists and activists, the story has become even more complex. Please stay tuned to The Print Media for a detailed coverage on this developing story.